Hey, alright folks, so it is just about 1 o'clock on day 142. Thought I'd catch you up on some news. Um, Boy, yesterday was an exciting day. So we did a solo slack pack over the Bigelows, and that was great. I mean, I think I mentioned in yesterday's video about slacking through a hurricane. So Hurricane Elsa was coming through. But luckily the weather, I mean, despite the forecast was for really big rain and potentially a little bit of thunderstorms and some wind and all sorts of stuff. And honestly, with respect to weather, got really lucky. There was some rain, but it wasn't too bad. Got over the Bigelows just fine, no worries at all. And about 1.5 miles from main Route 27, took a very sort of usual kind of spill on the trail. So it's coming down like a gradual incline and slipped on, I think, like a wet root. So like feet went forward, body went back, and left hand went down to stop me, and didn't feel good. Just didn't feel good at all. So kind of suspected it was broken, and but it's not anything I can fix on trail for sure. So had 1.5 miles or so to get back to main Route 27. Got back to the hostel and took a shower, got changed, and Justin and his wife here at the hostel were kind enough to arrange a shuttle, but the shuttle was like $150. So luckily another woman who was here, not a hiker, a woman who was staying at the hostel, volunteered to give me a ride like 30 miles to get down to the hospital. I got to the hospital, got an x-ray in pretty short order, and definitely the hand is broken, absolutely. So kind of like the bone in the palm, which comes out from the ring finger, broke right above the wrist, which is good. I mean, I guess it's not the wrist, so that's always good news. But yeah, it's definitely broken, and there might be a small chip on my middle finger, sort of like the punching knuckle. So there you have it. That's my main lobster claw. Since the break happened on Friday and I got to the hospital Friday evening, there was no orthopedist on site, so he's going to be not tomorrow. I wish it was tomorrow. He's going to be in on Monday. Today's Saturday. He's going to be in on Monday, so I got to go back Monday morning, first thing Monday morning, and see the orthopedist and see what the situation is. The doctor who attended to me said it might require a pin even, which would be pretty serious. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully the orthopedist can look at me and poke at it or whatever he's got to do, and gives me, just a solid cast or something. This is really just like a fiberglass brace really that I have on there. So I could take it on and off, but it's going to stay on for sure, because it's nice to have it immobilized and a little more sort of stable. Yeah, and that was only one of 3 really crazy things that happened yesterday. Luckily, that was the only crazy thing that happened to me, but there was another section hiking couple who was here at the hostel last night, the past 2 or 3 nights, and they went off for a section hike, wound up bushwhacking, wound up getting separated, and got the sheriff involved, got the game wardens involved. I mean, it was a rainy day yesterday. It wasn't as bad, the weather wasn't as bad as it was supposed to be, but not the sort of weather you want to be slack packing without any sort of kit. So the couple got separated for quite some time. One came out of the woods just fine, and the other was lost for several hours, for 5 or 6 hours, without any GPS or working phone or anything. So luckily, the missing person got out of the woods okay, just fine, no problem, no injuries, no harm, no anything. So that's really good. That was emergency number 2, even more severe than mine for sure. A missing person's a big deal. But luckily, they found each other and were made whole, and they got back on trail today, heading south to Andover. And the third disaster was there was a couple women who were here yesterday, and they left out in their car, and they broke down, like their emergency brake seized up or something and locked up all their wheels, and they had to get a tow truck out, or a wrecker as they're called in Maine. They had to get a wrecker out for a tow and all that. So oh man. Anyways, to get back to my particular disaster, so I got a broken hand, and that's no fun at all. That's really, really, really no fun at all. I certainly don't have any plans of getting off trail for any longer than I have to, and I really don't know how long I have to until at some point after I see the orthopedist. So You know, obviously if there's a pin involved and all that, then that's surgery and that's an open wound and that's stitches and all this and that. I mean, I'm like a week and a half from Katahdin. I mean, it's a bummer for sure. I mean, and again, you know, the hostel folks are nice and everything, but things are expensive. You know, food is expensive, accommodation is expensive, and getting to the hotel is like $150. Like I said, it's a bummer. It's a huge bummer. It's a huge expense, and it's a huge bummer. But you know, I mean, I guess I'm definitely thankful that it's my hand and not my leg or knee or hip or whatever, or my life, you know. I mean, goodness knows. For all the spills you can take on the trail, if you're going to break a bone, it's good for it to be your non-dominant hand. And good for it to be this section of the trail where there aren't, theoretically, a whole ton of mountains and stuff left to climb. I mean, save but for the one with the really funny name. So, I mean, it could have happened in the 100-mile wilderness, which is coming up in just another few days, and that would have been a lot harder to deal with. But this is while it is light years away from the worst case scenario or any of the 40 subordinate worst case scenarios, it's not great news. So it's definitely a broken hand. We're definitely gonna be grounded for a few days. You know, and that's gonna be a bummer. But you know, I'll get back on trail. We'll finish it. So stick with me. You know, we'll figure it out. Meanwhile, here's a clip of me saying goodbye to Birdman and Allie and Trebek and Iceberg and Quicksilver and Sev as they all left this morning. All right, well, everyone else is going back on trail, and I'm gonna nurse a broken hand here. So there they go.
Take care, man. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Enjoy those beers out
Tell Katahdin, yeah, we'll do. That's for sure.
Good word on Monday.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll text. I guess I got Iceberg's number and I got Birdman's number. So
you'll make it.
yeah, we'll get there. That's for sure. They can amputate the bugger, and I'll be out there with the stump. But alrighty, y'all have a shit house, guys. Yeah, so that was me wishing off the hikers who were continuing on, and that was a bummer. That was a bummer just to see the ship sail away without me, man. I was really excited. I mean, look at the sky up there. It's just a slam dunk day for hiking, and of course the next few days are going to be slam dunk days for hiking. But you know, luckily, again, it could have been a whole lot worse. So. Grounded for day 142, grounded for day 143. Day 144 we'll be checking in with the doctor, and I'll be checking back in with you. I probably won't record tomorrow. I'm just quite literally going to be licking my wounds out here. Well, I guess not literally, but yeah, just rehabbing and laying low for sure, man. Gotta rehab and lay low. But you know, as I said, you know, stick with me. Rewatch the day 128 video. That was a good one. That's what I'll be doing. And hanging out, you know. We'll be back in a couple days, hopefully with good news from the orthopedist. Definitely, hopefully with good news from the orthopedist. So, and then you know, we only got a week and a half together after that. 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks probably together, and then I'll be up to Katahdin, and I'll be sure to bring y'all with me. So. Stand by, y'all. We still have a little bit more trail left together, so a little bit of a speed bump, but we'll be back on our way in no time, hopefully, and yeah, going from there. So yeah, I'll talk to y'all in a couple days, on day 144 for sure, with an update from the orthopedist. Hang in. I'll talk to y'all later.